Так. Так. Всем привет. Всем привет. Сегодня у нас 7-я часть прохождения диска Элизиума. Вот. Игрушка, в принципе, довольно-таки зацепила. За исключением определенного рода, скажем так, определенного рода отталкиваемых там мыслей и каких-то идей. Вот. Но в целом это увлекательная, довольно-таки прикольная игрушка. В общем, поехали. Продолжать будем сейчас. Церковь Henchman. You are here. Here, блять. Так. Жаль, здесь единственное, что я могу сказать, вот... локация маленькая. То есть контента тут вот именно письменного, диалогов там дохуя. Вот просто вот овер дохуя. Вот. Но локации супер вот маленькие какие-то. Супер маленькие.
Hello, compatriot. You have something to discuss? I salute you, compatriot. Defenders of the evening lands have to stick together. Light up, brother. Ward off those jungle spirits.
Whoa, jackpot. Racist jackpot.
I don't know what you're talking about. Listen up, fuckwits. You don't scare me. You cops don't run Revachol West. You don't run Martinez. You don't run anything.
No, he means la puta madre.
A legendary, and not in a good way, crime boss from Jamrock. Controls what is probably the most powerful organized crime outfit in
мать
West.
по-испански, по-моему, там, ну, типа, по-мексикански, по-испански. Ну, потому что ля это просто, типа, как вот к существительному предлог, типа того, что... А пута это шлюха, а мадра это мать, короче. Ну, вот сами думаете, что это такое. Легендарный взрослый рока, блядь.
Yeah, him.
Его.
Then I presume you are familiar with his peonies.
Yeah, they're his little bitches. He's got them all over the unions.
Not just the unions. He has peonies everywhere. Some say he even has them in the RCM. Dirty fucking peonies who'd do anything for him. Multi-ethnic drug addicts.
Многонациональные наркоманы.
The lieutenant adopts a rodentine quality. Be cool, sire. He's getting into this.
You're not peonies. You wouldn't be investigating a drug thing if you were.
No, of course not. We are not peonies. But if we were, and one of Madre's drivers were to be stealing from him, then it's a good peony's job to find out who that is.
He's surprisingly good at this. Not bad at all. Look at him lurching.
It's not a hard job. It won't take a long time. It won't make Padre Madre angry. But a stupid fucking racist is standing in the way, protecting this fucking thief.
I'm not scared of you or the mob. I'm under the protection of the Lorrymen and Carters Guild.
You've seen that corpse in the ceramic armor there. Did his shitty little guild protect him?
Nah, you wouldn't just leave him out there if you...
The lieutenant turns and gives you a barely perceptible nod.
Так. 58%. Давайте попробуем. Хотя, подождите, сумрак. У меня что-то на сумрак есть из шмоток вроде как, да? Давайте. Сумрак -1 наоборот. Нет, нет, ничего.
Hello, compatriot. You have something to discuss?
Да, давай.
The main
Блять.
thing is to not overdo it, even when you're trying to scare someone. The most important thing is, how does it look on your resume? And, of course, what social sensibilities you're bringing to the table. Remain sensitive. People are watching.
Давайте.
What do you think we're doing right now, Runt? We're outside, talking.
Блять.
There's some kind of homo thing?
Мужеложские приколы. Блять.
Make me, Runt.
We'll just have to ask someone else about the lady driver. Let's go.
Пиздец. Пиздец. Ну ладно. Давайте, рулевая дама, блядь.
A lorry stuck in the traffic jam. This big, heavy grad-made machine is well. The windows, fumes of heavy fuel oil waft over you, making your eyes.
Не получится. Давайте к бабке подойдем опять. Ебать, я там обосрался, блядь.
Lowman, you caught me at an opportune moment. This awful weather keeps me awake. You can entertain me with your questions. Did you just call me a lady, Jerife?
She clearly doesn't think she's a lady. Don't repeat it.
I'm not that either, Jerife. I've gone too far from it all to remember what was between my legs. It doesn't work like that on the long haul.
Ого.
I'm only terrifying to small children and to those who used to know me.
Yeah, it's not her. Believe me.
Because they can no longer recognize the person I once was. The big ones, the trucks. There's no women and men there. It's all just... In the middle of this town, there's a ghostly motorway. It takes all the people where they want to.
In the background, a quiet song seeps from her cabin into the air. You don't hear any vocals.
How should I know? Do I look like I spend a lot of time with the other communers sniffing around when I have my movies to go to? Oh, Sim.
Понятно. Понятно. Давайте поговорим с какими-то челиками.
Right to work! Right!
Так. Хорошо.
All I'm wondering, man.
Понятно. Как эту херь открыть? Интересно.
The unpromising race pupil returns. He does not so much as glance at the object. Stop showing me your pathetic cup. I have no interest in it. He had nothing to do with it. I am not the first line of defense. I am the last. In addition, these so-called hardy boys are an effeminate clique of bodybuilders. Their company is spiritually degrading.
Ни хрена себе.
You pick up on something artificial in his tone, like he's putting on an act. This is unlike him. He is usually more himself. The hardy manlets are on the pay of the company. I answer to the union alone. And I do this out of race heroism. Finance is an alien concept to the Similes. Now leave me be. I must luxuriate in the company of my woman. Fine. They have recently fallen under the influence of a possibly sexually perverted female vagrant and a narcotics peddler. It's shameful. Find out for yourself. Endomorphic blood.
Interesting.
%. Давайте попробуем двинуть его. Вряд ли поможет, мне кажется. Грубая сила есть еще? Неа. Ну ладно. Я так полагаю, мы Мы сюда так не попадем. Сумочная дама, блядь. А кто это может быть? Торговка вот здесь вот какая-то, блядь. Давайте посмотрим.
Is this about the questions again? Because I don't really know anything.
Иди нахуй, короче.
The tear machine your bottles clunk into the... Do you know what you should do with that money, kiddo? You should buy more alcohol. Enter the endless cycle of consumption.
Угу. Я даже хуй его знает, блядь, что еще делать.
Hello, compatriote. You have something to discuss?
Это куда-то спиздилась, короче, тёлка. Куда она делась?
Now it's turning into a kind of a snow limbo, man. What's on your mind?
О, давайте попробуем.
Wait.
Отлично.
There's something here, stored away in some dusty corner. It starts like...
Whoa. What else? Silent communion. That's good. Dang, that's some great shit. You came up with that yourself.
Or did you learn it in school? More importantly, who can prove if you did? Go with it. You deserve some acclaim.
Fucking hey. Seems I got you all wrong. Cops aren't much known for their artistic sensibilities these days. It's good to meet a fellow poet. Someone with an appreciation for real text. The others here say you don't really get it. I get you. When they really click, it makes the world seem manageable. Good to be on the same page.
You found some common ground with this man. Even impressed him. The next time you look in the mirror, though, remember those words.
Nope, don't smoke. Some of the other drivers do, though. There's still a few around, waiting for the jam to disperse. Or waiting for the sweet release of death.
Hey, isn't he like smoking right now? The smell is in the air.
Да, конечно, он курит стоит, ёпта, в смысле не курит, блядь. Что это за дерьмо он?
Okay, but this is my last one. And it's a bad habit. You should quit before both of us have lung cancer. I don't want to talk about that. Man, I was hoping it isn't going to be her. All I can say is, she isn't around here anymore. She isn't some evil drug trafficker. And I don't know where she is.
Да это негритянка, которая сидела вот там, блядь, на стуле, ёпта. У нее там какие-то соли вечно и так далее.
I didn't, man. I told you I was hoping it's not her. That she wouldn't be mixed up in it.
It's true. We would of course a lie. But a kind heart is tricky. Bah. Emotional rhetoric. He knew something and he didn't share it with you. That's a fact.
Конечно.
A youngish woman. Gruff, but in a cool way.
What color hair?
Blue and violet. Dyed.
Синий,
It was
фиолетовый.
violet when she got here. Blue before she went.
Ну, скорее всего, та пизда, блядь, в аптеке, наверное. Все-таки это, наверное, не негритянка. Я сразу подумал почему-то на аптекаршу. Она типа под дуру там косит, короче. Хотя сейчас посмотрим, ладно. Синий и фиолетовый. А когда уезжала синий.
Then she may have dyed it again.
Хотя, может, и негритянка, хую. Что это еще? Как ее зовут?
Thank God I don't know. People here call her the lady driver. She kept her name a secret. From me too. Now I see why. A friend? An acquaintance. I don't know. She was the only person in this damn jam I could talk to. She's someone I don't want to rat out to the law, okay? Damn, I don't want to... Please just let it go. Whatever she did, it can't be that bad. She's not a bad person. I know that much.
We can't just let it go. It's part of a police investigation.
That's how it always is with you, isn't it? All part of the investigation. The girl's troubled. If you hunt her down, she may not survive it. I can't have that on my conscience.
It won't come to that. We won't pursue her on this. This is information only.
I don't believe you. She's got the darkness in her. That young person's darkness when you think it's all over. And you're looking for a way out.
Темнота, что бывает вместе. Ищешь путь выхода.
She shared this with you?
Yes. Which is why I don't want to snitch on her.
Чуть.
I heard the rumors. I saw the other drivers looking at me strange when we talked. And she told me too. That she's had a violent life. But I wasn't afraid of her. More like for her.
Did this violent life include drug trafficking?
Well, it looks like it did now. But we didn't talk about that. We talked about life, you know? She talked about her mind. The way it worked. The trouble it was giving her. Fuck, man. Go grill someone else with these questions, okay? There are plenty of drivers here who couldn't stand her or were afraid of her. They'd be more than happy to rat her out.
Да, но только они ничего не говорят. Они бесполезные.
He's right. There are other options. The raceman, for one. Wait, this guy says they're friends. Then, acquaintances. And he's okay with others ratting her out.
Ну да.
You're not gonna put a bullet in your head if you blow it, are you? Because she's on the edge, man. Fine. I don't want to be a butcher. And I don't want to be a knight either. I just want to be a person who can sleep at night. A little fame wouldn't hurt too. I thought you were a different kind of cop. Here.
The keys to a motor lorry. Pretty complex. Looks like a chain lock.
Her lorry's still here, down past the statue of Philippe. The cabin is green. You can get in there with these. That's all I know.
When did she leave?
Last Friday. She left them to me because she trusted me. So I can get it out of the way when the jam breaks loose. Otherwise,
The other drivers would have to tow it or break in to get the machines moving.
If they break in, they would find what's hidden inside. Something incriminating.
no. I don't know. I bet you are. Nah, I need to think my own thoughts now. Pray forgiveness for my sins. Go check your cabin. I hope it gets you something. Help someone.
Ну ладно. Давайте, погнали. Что это за кабина? Статуя, блять. Вот она, да? Ага.
This screen found, A to Z, contemporaire, is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead. It's seen better days.
This is the one our man pointed to.
The glass on the side windows is tinted and covered with dust. You can barely make out the shape of a seat and two steering levers. The door is locked. The handle looks shiny, like it's recently replaced. There's no picking this lock. The owner has put special care into it. It's a recessed design. You push the key into the lock and turn. It makes a cracking sound. Then the door pops back a few centimeters. You can just... The smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the
Вот
front
здесь вот мы
and a
найдем, наверное,
toolbox
да?
tucked under the driver's
Пиздатую
seat.
монтировку,
Some
наверное, здесь мы
tools
найдем.
lie scattered near the pedals. There's something odd about the passenger seat. The seating fabric has been pulled tight over the lower side of the seat where the toolbox should be. These are movie posters featuring starlets from long-forgotten films from the 20s, the teens, even the 90s of the last century. One of them particularly catches your eye, a centerfold of an ingenue attached right above the back seat. There's definitely perfume in the air. It's spicy, with a hint of amberette, wafting through the bitter air of the cabin. The remnants of a sweet juniper-scented perfume, probably Grenade number 5. The actress is draped in a sheathed dress, one of her shoulders bared. The faded remains of an autograph run across the poster. She's looking past the camera. Wait, doesn't she resemble someone you know? But you can't put your finger on whom exactly. This is Tijon, a starlet from the dawn of cinematography, less known for her talent than her tragic, untimely death. She wasted away in a drug den called Door to the River, not far from here on Boogie Street, a mixture of cocaine and morphine. She was afraid of the world and the camera too. The actresses and the rear actor all smile you a warm goodbye. A radio transmitter is attached to the dashboard and a toolbox sits under the driver's seat. You wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like the few tools lying around here, a hammer, a pair of pliers, a rusty wrench, have been casually thrown there by the disorganized driver. But one odd detail does catch your eye. A piece of sandpaper has been glued to the throttle.
Значит, это все-таки баба там была. Она на месте повешения была, типа там стоптанная подушка была. Вот она что. Вот. Значит, она там была. Около трупа. Она в этом участвовала.
Sandpaper adds extra grip.
Sandpaper? A novel technique? Yes? Which means that the missing lady driver was present at the lynching. We've identified one of the footprints, but there are still 7 to go.
The movie stars are still smiling from the walls. But there's something strange about the passenger seat. The radio transmitter sits on the center console and the pull-out toolbox lies hidden under the driver's seat. Some tool looks like the frequency dial is absent. It requires a key to work, but the key has been removed, likely by the missing lady driver.
Strange. There are so many radio stations saved here. Must be over 100 at least. For contacting an entire fleet of lorrymen, for example. This is all shortwave, UW and UKV. Looks like we are dealing with an impressive organizational tool. The nerve center of a huge operation, with quite a range too.
A 20-kilometer radius at least, perhaps extended by an attachable antenna that's not here right now.
Doesn't look like it. It's completely inoperable without a dial key.
The ghostly actresses and the rusty toolbox under the driver's seat and the oddly bulging seat cover. Voila, a stack of neatly folded papers has been stashed behind the seating fabric. You see 3 maps depicting a large metropolitan area. It's Revachol. Some of its routes and highways have been outlined with a pen.
Bonne prise.
This large map displays the elevated motorway called 881. The intake leading to Martinez is marked with a blue X. There's another X on the off-ramp at a place called toll booths at the intakes are marked with a circle. It looks like there are scant few ways of getting onto the elevated motorway that runs over Jamrock, and this person knows them all. There, hundreds of thousands of motor carriages roar on the 881, high above the massive brown and red roofs that is Jamrock. The commuters don't even look down. The world ceases to exist outside the windshield. To Kuron, through the middle-income neighborhoods there, by the river, and then to Stella Maris and La Delta for work, while the men and women of Jamrock scuttle to their fates below the road. This municipal map from the 30s displays a complex system of storm sewers underneath a sub-district called the Pox, old military hospital, right adjacent to the 41st precinct. No storm will ever drown Revachol, the great solution to the riddle of history. The final map displays a labyrinth of service tunnels left over from the construction of Motorway 881. A few routes have been marked with a pen, where the tunnels and sewers surface near the eminent domain and a traffic island in central Jamrock by the lake. These service tunnels were probably used during the construction of the foundation beneath the motorway. Looks like the smugglers have infiltrated the road network belonging to East Motor Tract.
So it would seem. The RCM patrols most of these auxiliary roads, though apparently not all of them. It's definitely not the Union. They just do some logistics. This operation has spread everywhere in Jamrock. If it's that widespread, then Madre remains the most likely suspect. Here's bad news. There have been attempts at a serious investigation before, but they haven't ended well for those involved. Hard to say. This distribution network looks certainly large, yet still vague enough. It doesn't reveal much about the Besmerti behind it. The Besmerti is a Revacholian crime syndicate. They see themselves as the inheritors of the 14 Revacholian Indo-tribes, but really they're just violent gangs vying for control on the west side of Revachol. With cool names like La Puta Madre and Aura Mazda, it's a dark parody. Best not to disturb the scene. I'll have forensics go over the lorry and pick this up later.
The stack of maps looks just like before, barely noticeable. The movie stars look silently by, and the pull-out toolbox has a rubber handle, worn from years of use. A metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's empty, except for a folded newspaper. It's an issue of Périphérique from last Wednesday. A piece of paper falls out from its pages. It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematical equations explain the basics of something called the Ulan frequency system.
The Ulan frequency system? I've never heard of that before. I know of FM, AM, UKV, but...
The pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. The rest is as it was. Posters, a radio, dust on the windows. You close the rusty old lorry door.
Great. I think we got everything. A word, detective? Before we return to Joyce? Alright, we've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found, so we don't do it in front of the company rep. Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. The evidence seems to point to a rather extensive and well-organized operation. I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the sheer number of stations it can connect. Looks like
This means it's well funded. Technology like that, a major player must be financing it.
I'm not sure what the Ulan frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better way to connect between fleets while avoiding frequency bleed, or maybe it's used to tap into RCM networks. Oh, and the maps we found. They reveal the geographical extent of the operation. Looks like they've used abandoned tunnels and access roads to stay hidden. This is useful info. We didn't find anything conclusive linking them to the smuggling operation. But somehow, I doubt that Everard Clare would be oblivious to something like this happening right under his nose. My suggestion is, we use it against the Union in any way we can, to our own ends. It's a slippery hill, but we just might be able to pin them down, indirectly, down the road. We should return to the murder case, see what Joyce tells us about the lynching. When we are done for the day, I call my station and suggest our narcotics department look into it. There are more than enough grounds to start an official investigation, sometime later when we are done here. We do not want to get caught in that. The fact that one hasn't started already gives me pause. An investigation, I mean. Especially if the Madrid grouping is involved, and I can't imagine they aren't. It's certainly worrisome. All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descending on the matter. That won't help anyone either. As elegant as they are, I don't think they are relevant to the drug trade.
Don't be fooled. Desire always plays a role.
Yes, well... As elegant...
Don't be fooled. Desire always plays a role.
Yes, well... As
Don't be fooled.
I'm going to say no. Debrief over, after you.
Хорошо.
Oh, look. It's the cop who turned me into a bad person.
Да ладно, не глупи. Чел. Это, скорее всего, вот эта баба села на тачку и съебала, наверное. Вот. По газам дала отсюда. Это именно она.
An inconspicuous pile of
Ну,
the
брать,
roofing material etonite.
83%. Драма просит взглянуть еще раз. Это белая проверка. Ну, блядь, 83%. Ну, неужели не сработает?
Because
Блядь,
there's a
наконец-то.
secret door hidden behind the panels of Eternite. That's why they're too orderly. There it is. You see a shabby little door.
Да неужели? Блядь, ну тут же видно, что там что-то есть.
What is this then? A tool shed? Let's investigate.
Конечно, мы будем это делать. Ты шутишь? Конечно, мы туда пойдем. Братик, ты чё, блядь? Узкоглазый братик, очкастый. Так, опачки. А вот это интересно. Пустая упаковка от магниевой добавки магнолам. Магниевая добавка, которая втирает в грудь. Организм насыщается магнием, жизнь прекрасна. О, отлично. Так, вот это что? О, деньги. С остатками желтоватого порошка.
Be still, my beating heart.
Остановись.
It's amphetamine.
Мгновение.
Sweet
Это
amphetamine.
амфетамин, чудесный амфетамин.
The lieutenant isn't studying the
Смотрит на
powder
порошок
in
на
the mirror.
зеркале.
He's studying you.
Лейтенант не смотрит на порошок на зеркале. Он смотрит на тебя.
There's a good vague way to ask where he stands on drug
Так.
use. Professionally, I mean.
Так. Здесь кто-то принял наркотики, может полиции стоит вмешаться. Я думал о правосудии. Я слышал, амфетамины могут помочь по-настоящему проявить свои детективные способности. А ты по-настоящему проявляешь свои детективные способности? Ненавязчиво. Это не то, что ненавязчиво, это слишком прямо, мне кажется. Где кто-то принимал наркотики, может полиции стоит вмешаться?
Perhaps not.
Не стоит.
This is below our pay grade, detective.
Смотрим
However,
на тебя.
See that ladder there? It's probably another way into the industrial harbor. No?
О,
A secret path the local kids use.
лестница. Мальчишка пользуется. Какой еще мальчишка? Хочешь дороги или тебе конец? Так, это что? Засушенная голова свиньи выглядит мумифицированной. Это что? А, вот эта лестница. Вот это, да? Ну, давайте попробуем. А что, тут больше ничего нету. Сваливаем. Угу. А вот и мы. Ну. Чуть-чуть. А тут, кстати, отсюда кажется, знаете что? Когда ты вот здесь вот стоишь, вот в этом углу, оттуда кажется, что вот эта местность, вот эта местность, вот, да, вот это вот здание, это как будто не второй этаж, а как будто первый. Ну, это ж не трехмерная игра, а типа двумерная, и здесь плохо видно. А тут оказывается вот оно что. Это что? А, крик. Эти развалины поддерживают лишь ремонтные подпорки. О, денежка. Ну и как можно сюда как-то пройти? Нет, нельзя. Так, это что? Этот проем скоро обвалится. Хуёво. Хорошо. Как-то сюда можно попасть еще, нет? добежит до туда, интересно.
Looks like someone left his tarpaulin cloak hanging on the railing here. When the wind ruffles the cloak, you can most definitely see a white rectangle on its back.
На спине. Ага. Собственно, разорвало это полицейский плащ. Да.
Yes, it's probably yours. It bears the
Да,
RCM
скорее всего, это
insignia,
ваш.
and you have a habit
Эмблема
of being
НГМ, а
careless
вы
with your equipment.
ставитесь небрежно в отношении снаряжения. Он оценивает расстояние.
You could probably make the jump.
Вероятно, вы
You
сможете
look like you've
допрыгнуть.
done some track and
Судя по
field.
вашему виду, в свое время спорт был вам не чужд. Ух ты. Оглядеться по сторонам.
The wind is aggressive up here.
Бывает снова.
The lieutenant looks at the enormous crane towering in the distance over the container yard.
Подъемный кран. Швечная площадка для контейнера.
That machine
Эта
is a
машина
Cavalsund 1020 HK.
1020. Полосунут работать на кран. Нихуя себе присвистнут. Какой здоровый кран. Это просто машина, молоток или пара плоскогубцев. Не на что тут смотреть.
Is it? Qualsund makes a lot of heavy equipment, but this is phenomenal, even for them. But I digress. We were focusing on your cloak here. I was under the assumption we could ask the leader of this union to help us get this body down. This is why we're here, right? Or it could be that we are just exploring.
Мы исследуем локацию, да.
The cloak? I do think it's yours, yes. As to whether you should go for it? Well, it doesn't seem too dangerous. 2 meter stops. Whenever you're ready to do it, I'll be right behind you.
The cloak looks like a bag of goodies floating in the wind. Who knows what its pockets may hide?
Да-да-да. Сколько? 17%. Ну давайте попробуем. Эквилибристика у меня минусы есть к этому. Плюс минус 1 эквилибристика. Мне штаны нужно снять и одеть что-нибудь. Или просто вот так снять, да, чтобы минусов не было. Эквилибристика есть. Ага. Ага. Да-да-да-да. Косвенное налогообложение. Ну вот так вот только, если я могу прыгнуть к 100.
Tarpaulin cloak with possible
28%.
RCM markings
Блять,
is
плохо.
still caught on the railing.
Плохо, плохо, плохо. Давайте, а что делать? Да, есть, сработало, чуваки. Прикиньте. Вот это да.
As you leap in the air, a chilly breeze engulfs you,
Ебать, повезло.
sharpening your senses.
Ты прыгаешь, поток обжигающий холодного воздуха обостряет твои чувства. Закрой глаза и позволь своим чувствам объять мир. Подлое путешествие сквозь соленый воздух. Так, отлично.
As the concrete floor welcomes you, you
Приземляясь,
realize it's been
видите,
a
ты
while
понимаешь, что
since
уже
you
давно не
felt
чувствуешь
so
себя живым,
alive,
бодрым, деятельным.
alert, capable.
Адреналин.
Must be the adrenaline.
I knew you could
Я
do it.
знал, что у
My
вас
climbing down
получится.
might not have
Хотя
been
я
as disco as your
здесь
jump, but at least we can explore the harbor now.
Но, по крайней мере, мы поправились в порт.
With your feet firmly planted on the concrete, the noise of the harbor rushes back in.
Отлично, отлично, отлично. А мог бы поломаться нахер, кстати. А мог бы просто поломаться к хуям. Давайте возьмем. Ух ты! Смотрите, какой плащик. А куда его одевать? На шею? Ты чё? А чё тут шея? Внутренняя империя. Полицейская волна трепет. А, во. О. Ага, во. Вот так, оказывается. Ага. Полицейская волна. А тут полицейская волна трепет. Ой, отлично. Это что? Стильный диско-блейзер, лол. Ага. По чуть-чуть начинаю превращаться в нормального чувака. Скорость реакции, электрохимия. -1 эквилибристик. Электрохимия, внутренняя империя. Логика, авторитет. Ха. Ну слушайте, шикарно. Давайте сохранимся. Вот. Тут что? Для сбора дождевой воды. Окей. Оу, е. Сигаретные бычки. Здесь пачки 3, не меньше. Множество пустых бутылок из-под красного командора и признак крепкая.
Numerous empty wine bottles glisten in the rain.
Винных бутылок блестит под
Someone
дождем.
partied
Слабо
really
отжигал.
hard here.
Ну да, нехило. Погоди, насколько не слабо?
Well,
Ну,
they
было
went through 6
6
bottles of potent Pilsner, 3 bottles of
Полагаю, что
Commodore
очень не
Red,
слабо, да,
and almost 4 packs of cigarettes.
действительно.
It must have been pretty hard.
Это все я?
Well, yes, I think we can say with relative confidence
Да,
that it
думаю,
was
мы
you.
можем с определенной долей уверенности сказать, что это были вы. Ничего себе. Ну, в принципе, и плащ, все. Я там кутил, короче, жестко. Это весьма печально. Видимо, мне было очень плохо. Похоже, неплохо веселился. Я все еще не до конца уверен, что это моих рук дело. Я, должно быть, выполнял какое-то серьезное задание в порту. Охренеть. Так. Очень плохо. Что-то моих рук дело.
I am.
А то я
But it
уверен,
doesn't
сейчас
matter
не
right
важно.
now. Let's just move on.
Да. Ну, давай, давай. Так.
This is the night watchman's booth. The name on the door reads René Arnaud. Listen, it's okay to take a few minutes to yourself.
Неудача.
Sit down and have a breather.
Можно пару минут и себе посвятить. Сядь, передохни. Себе посвятить. Сядь, передохни. Сесть и отдохнуть. Ага, значит, тут работает Рене. Надо осмотреться.
If you must. But please hurry. We are pretty easy to spot up here.
Если настаиваете, глядывается вокруг лейтенант, но здесь у всех на виду.
Nothing incriminating catches your eye. The cabinets are clean and their sparse contents meticulously organized. There's a framed photograph on the table. It's a black and white photo of a young couple out in a street fair. The man, René, is dressed in a Royal Carabinieri uniform. The girl is young and very pretty. She is smiling playfully at the camera.
Why did you take that picture of René?
Карточку. Хочу спросить его о снимке. Я же коп, у меня инстинкт собирать улики. И свои фотографии для художественного коллажа кину. Хочу спросить его о снимке.
You are really interested in that old soldier.
Старый солдат.
Not sure I understand your fascination, but sure.
Если это
As long as it doesn't take up a whole lot of time.
Сесть и отдохнуть. Блять, ну я не хочу сесть и отдыхать. А, вот бутылку давайте собирать точно. А, вот, смотрите. Я еще могу их взять, да? Да, я еще могу их взять. Целую кучу. Я могу взять целую кучу. А вот еще 2. Прикольно, слушайте. Набомжевал, так сказать. Так, а если вот это посмотреть, ну-ка. А, нет, все равно.
This is the night.
Уходим. Просто тупо уходим. Хорошо. Тут что? Вокруг неподвижные гигантские машины. Так. На контейнерах нарисованы белые сосны, как будто заснеженный лес. А что, если вот сюда спуститься? Ну-ка. Или подняться? Ну-ка. Куда мы попадем отсюда? Я ненавижу эти загрузки. Тут же супер маленькие локации. Вообще вся эта локация могла бы поместиться в оперативной памяти. Какого хуя, блядь? Для кого это рассчитано? Радио спускает странное жужжание. Отпечаток огромной задницы на подушке и кофейные следы от кружки на подлокотнике. Непонятно что. А, типа записать. Улики какие-то, наверное. Это что? Книга, краткое описание инфраматериализма. Ёпта, пиздец, нахуй. Кто-то заставил кофемашину включенной. Темная жидкость в кофейнике походит на разумное существо. Стандартный конторский шкаф с картотекой. Похоже, ящики заперты. Ну-ка.
On second glance,
Ты
someone
присмотришь
has
получше,
forgotten to
замечаешь, что
properly
кто-то забыл
close
закрыть
one of
один
the
из
drawers.
ящиков.
It's unfortunate for the Union to just leave their paperwork
Напрасно
lying around like
профсоюз
this.
составляет бумаги вот так без присмотра. Открыть ящик.
The drawer opens smoothly. Inside is a well-organized selection of brown folders.
Ящик послушно открывается. Внутри расставлены по порядку коричневые папки. Посмотреть папки.
Hundreds of documents containing logistical data. Two kinds of transactions stand out. Materials coming into and the same materials being handed over to companies inside Revachol, Couron, Coal City, La Delta. It's hard to make sense of this thicket of company names, dates, quantities, and percentages. You try to focus, but the lines are getting blurry.
Название компании, даты. Название компании, дата, количество проценты. Брата сквозь тебе очень сложно. Ты пытаешься сосредоточиться на строчке, лут у тебя перед глазами. Давайте. Что закрывается. У меня есть что-то на сила воли вообще? Или... Ну-ка. Авторитет, нет. Лингвистика, драма, энциклопедия. Не, вообще ничего нету. Ну давайте пробовать.
Stands steady as ever, and the unlocked drawer slides out to greet you.
Давайте.
Whatever's hidden here is hidden well.
Просто пиздец.
Concentration isn't enough. Only a trained
Короче,
accountant
везет
with a
жестко.
background in
Второй раз
logistics
подряд.
would be able to really
В тот раз было
make sense
27,
of
по-моему,
it.
процентов. Мне повезло,
However,
а сейчас
there
28.
is a little
Но вчера мне
handwritten
жестко
note
не перло.
stuck
И
on the
сегодня
side
с
of the
расистом не
drawer.
перло в начале, пиздец. Тоже он меня нахуй послал. Если здесь что-то и спрятано, то найти это будет очень сложно. Что-то спрятано, то найти это будет очень сложно. Очень сложно. Только опытный бухгалтер, который меня оставка удалось бы задать. Однако я нашел также небольшую записку, написанную от руки, прилипшую к стенке ящика. Посмотрите на
It appears
записку.
to be
Похоже.
a to-do list written in large, uneven capital letters. Remember, Leo, Everard's shoes, special whirling borscht, water Everard's plants, sweep office floor, more banners.
Вести в офисе еще плакаты.
All items on the list have been crossed out, and the note itself is crumpled.
Чернутый, записка скомкана. Не смотри, список дел для Эврара.
Everard Clare, probably. The head of the Debarders Union. One of his aides must have left it. Nothing incriminating here.
The special borscht seems a bit odd in the list.
Странным образом является в этом списке. Да.
What is so special about this borscht? Code for drugs, booze, blood.
Котики, спиртное и кровь.
Remember, Leo, all items on the drawer.
Ящик уходим. Так, слушайте, это прям сохраняем сразу. Это что? Открытка, Лежердан. Окей. Сверху на листовке написано «Каждый рабочий член правления». Внизу логотип профсоюза, надпись «Требуем демократии». Пишущая машинка Дэви. Название модели указано на задней панели. Окей. Давайте посмотрим, что у нас тут. О, магний. О, драма, визуальный анализ. Прикольно, слушайте, ну-ка. Что у меня за очки? Логика, авторитет. Нет, давайте вот эти очки оденем. Аккуратные. Офисные темные очки завалялись в офисе профсоюза. бумаги, когда солнце бьет в глаза, а также, чтобы грозно смотреть на подозреваемых. -1 драма. Логика. Авторитет. Да. Так, тут что у нас? Дверь заперта. С этой стороны ее можно открыть только картой и ключом. Похоже, придется все-таки поговорить с председателем профсоюза. Ну ладно, в принципе, все. Вот это какая-то хуета, ну-ка.
An imposing combination of a punch
Со
clock
стены на
and
тебя
a
смотреть
payphone
устройство
is looking down
последними
at you
рентабельными
from the
часами.
wall. A note on the
Здесь
side
инструкции нет,
says,
используйте мелочь.
tokens unavailable
А
due
что
to strike.
стоимость посетителя
Use
закон действует?
change.
Субтимов. А кому мне звонить? Зачем это надо? Ну давай, ладно.
The machine swallows your coin
Монета
and
каждый
seems to be
стоит
waiting for your
действий.
next
Техника сложно.
move.
12. Набрать случайный номер, пусть мышечная память все сделает за тебя. 42%. Блять, ну давай.
It's
Блядь.
unclear whether you actually have
Есть
muscle
осталось
memory.
очень.
Right now, your finger is just
Ещё через
drawing
год меня
vaguely
тут
occult
рисунки
patterns in the
можно
air.
использовать.
Undoubtedly,
Что
no.
возможно, там
Sure,
вопрос.
why not? Muscle memory is a tricky thing.
Штука хитрая, да. Ну, вроде бы все, да? Больше ничего не выделяется здесь. Уходим. Однозначно уходим. Это что?
A rusting control panel with several knobs. 2 buttons marked Marsh and Arrête are faded with use. It seems to control the large Elysium on, étendre, off.
Давай.
With a loud grind, the crane shifts overhead, moving a massive metal container through the air.
Чё се? И... Так. Угу. Так.
And with a surprisingly quiet thunk, the harbor sleeps as the strike rages in the distance. The crane can rest again, now that its purpose has been fulfilled. Moving this container, of course. For this purpose, it was...
I can't see how that was worth the ruckus, except for seeing the crane in action, which I admit was satisfying.
The crane does not return to its original position.
Шо, двигается, значит, двигается. Ништяк, погнали. Что это такое? Это что? Деньги. Это что? Квалсунт. Арданский квалсунт значит фьорд китов.
Before you stands a cargo container, just one of many in the yard.
Is this like your thing with that wall again? You do? Because I don't. There are a million containers here. Why are you fixating on this one? It's a cargo container, detective, just like all the others. We are not here to interact with containers. We are here to get the body down from the tree.
No reply. The knock produces a hollow ring of metal. Doesn't sound like there's anything inside the container. You attempt to turn the handle, to no avail. The doors seem to be mechanically locked. To your left, the lieutenant considers your actions with some puzzlement.
пока что не... Ну тут, блядь, ну что-то там есть, да? По-любому там что-то есть. Окей, давай дальше. Так. На верфи царит намекненная тишина. Огромные машины спят. Так. У нас почти 50 монет. Громкоговоритель не задает звука. Сейчас расположены ниже верфи. Работают, не ведутся. Так, окей. Так, автосохранение, смотрите, интересно. Что-то я там записал, непонятно что. Это что? Перчатки от Фаун серии Ультра. Ну-ка, а у меня что за перчатки? Электрохимия. Прямой контакт. Ну, сумрак, заебись, давайте сумрак. Что не дают? Для максимальной функциональности эти перчатки от Фаун серии Ультра лишены пары пальцев и снабжены несколькими защитными знаками. Их очень удобно ползать на четвереньках или таскать тяжесть. Окей. Хорошо. Что-то записал, но непонятно что. О, челик сидит какой-то. Так, майнер растянулся под весом дождевой воды и снега, белая волна красная.
Container, container, I'll turn you nice and red. Container, container, put the logos on.
The lyrics to this container song are being made up as he goes along. The accent is so thick, it's impossible not to notice he's Ubi, from the vanishing peninsula of Ubisund on Muindi.
Container, container, used to be Wild Pines. Container, container, now belongs to Everard. Everard, 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 he looks after everyone. Huh? Well, hey there. How can I help you, mister? I see you are not a union man, mister. Did you get lost? You're not one of them scabs, are you? I mean, I don't personally mind. Folks is just folks, you know, and folks gotta eat. Just some of the other guys don't look too kindly on the scabbing kind, if you know what I mean, mister. Oh yes, born and raised in Irish, mister. Mum had to leave my dad after he got a bit violent. Took us here to the new world. I was about 10 then, too old to lose my accent then. People say us Ubis are up to all sorts of trouble with sheep and other animals and whatnot. I just want you to know there was never any of that where I come from. No sir, those are just nasty rumors.
Про Уби рассказывают всякие такие вещи касательно овец и прочих животных и всякого такого. Я просто хочу сказать, ничего подобного никогда не было там, откуда я родом. О нет, это просто грязные сплетни. Это Кавказ, что ли? Это кавказец, что ли, типа? Ну, типа в игре, типа, ну, намек, типа, на Кавказ, что ли?
Thank you for clarifying that.
Ясность. Ты делаешь с контейнером.
Oh, I'm just making some covers for them containers here. Yes I am, yes I am. So it's easier for the crane operators to spot them.
Что тут происходит, постоянно возвращающийся контейнер?
The containers in the yard are green in Wild Pine's livery, and the mountains rising behind Leo is all red in Union colors.
Контейнеры на площадке выкрашены в зеленые цвета.
It's like some red infection was spreading outwards from the container yard's core. There appear to be cisterns underneath the Union container covers.
No, not really. Mr. Everett doesn't tell me all the big things. Says I go and tell them to everyone. Oh, I don't know, mister. They say it's some chemicals. Most of them have labels on them, I think.
Есть этикетки.
Yes, they are hiding it from the inside. All the red containers have the Debarders Union logo on them.
Oh, no trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all.
Проблем, господин хороший. Тщедушный мужичок.
Yes, yes. Everybody needs a job, and this is mine. I'm Leonard, by the way. Leonard Bellick. But everyone calls me Leo. I'm like Mr. Everett's right-hand man when Mr. Edgar is out of town, and Mr. Edgar's right-hand man when Mr. Everett is away. Actually, Miss Beaufort is the right-hand man, but she's a lady.
Who is this, Miss Beaufort?
A real pretty lady with a skin like those Douai Sucre candy bars my missus likes so much. Them are real nice to suckle on once the dinner is done and me and the missus sit down beside the radio. But I can't listen to the radio all the time. There's so much to do around here and I'm always busy keeping things running here. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Oh, Lizzie, she is a real sharp tool. Mr. Everett put her through some fancy school and everything, east of the river. 4 years she was gone, and when she came back, she was all fancy and lawyerly.
He respects that word. That's obvious.
But she's a real nice girl. Grew up in this here neighborhood, knows everybody and gets along with everyone. Real pillar of the community one day, I'm sure. If me missus and me was to have a child, I'd be real happy if she turned out like her. But she can't have kids. Dr. Lemaitre said so, and she knows about such things. Been a doctor for almost 50 years she has.
So Everett trained a lawyer named Miss Beaufort. Interesting.
Yes, this place really seems to run like clockwork. Keep it up, Leo.
Well, thanks a lot. Coming from you, it means a lot, really. Sometimes I feel some of the guys don't really get how much I bust my ass for them here. But you guys are all right. Oh, most of the guys are down at the gates, keeping the scabs from coming in. We're on a strike. The whole union is. You don't have to work when you're on strike. Ha! We haven't worked for 2 months now.
So no one is working?
Not everyone is down there, of course. Mr. Everard is in his office, where he always is. And Jean-Luc is guarding the gate. But Titus and his boys got into some drunken trouble and Everard sent them on a nice vacation. For a week or so.
Это, наверное, те, кто убили. Вот эта заварушка, вот Тит и его парни. Вот кто нам нужен.
Oh, I'm not really supposed to talk about that. That's union business. Him and his boys stirred up something in town. Probably drank too much and got into a fight or something. I heard Mr. Everett telling them to take some time off.
Don't go all bad cop on this simple, friendly fellow.
I guess the boys got a bit too rowdy and had to let out some steam. I don't really know the details. That's just how boys are, you know. I haven't been in a fight since I was in middle school.
Easy, Leo. Let's keep this on the hearties.
Look at him. It's not going to be anything useful anyway. Don't fight it. Better to go with the flow.
I remember I was the runt of the class.
Моршин, ты
The
счастный
bigger
очень.
boys always used to
Как
pick
бы
on me.
вырос.
You see, I had a bit of a temper back in the day. Flew off the handle like nobody's business. But Mr. Everett and his brother always came to help. Once they beat old Noel Becker so bad he needed stitches on his head. Noel never started another fight with anyone after this. Mr. Everett and Mr. Edgar are real nice guys, mister. You should go talk to Mr. Everett. I'm sure you'll be good friends. He's friends with everyone around here. Oh, yes, yes. I leave all kinds of notes for myself. That old head of mine ain't so good at keeping things in no more. I almost forgot about the borscht.
Угу.
Oh, yes. I've been taking special whirling borscht to the men every day since the strike started.
Угу.
It's very, very good. Makes a man feel so warm and happy. I feel like I could take on Mr. Renadan's boar dogs every time the lunch is done. Yes, yes. I'm taking it to them. The borscht keeps them happy and in fighting spirits. Makes you all warm inside. They brew it in the whirling in rags.
Понятно, понятно. А за дверью в танцах в трепе там что-то находится, короче, за этой металлической дверью. И этот чувак пиздит, что он не имеет ни ключа, не знает, что там находится. Пиздобол, короче. Понятно. Интересно, интересно, интересно. Интересно.
Oh, the Whirling's cook. He makes it. Them is always talking with Mr. Manana in that weird language and laughing together. He doesn't speak what we speak. He's from Grad.
Ну, понятно, понятно. Наркоторговец, короче, какой-то. Да,
Oh,
понимаем
sure,
знание.
mister. Sure. You do that. Yes, sir. Oh, that one. That should be empty as far as I know. Lots of containers here have nothing in them. They're just waiting to be loaded up.
Told you.
Угу.
Oh, you want Mr. Everett then? He's an awfully nice fellow, he is. Him and his brother are both nice fellows. They've lived their entire lives in this here neighborhood. Guys like Mr. Everett and Mr. Edgar, his brother, are real good guys. Made Martinez what it is today. Mr. Everett and Mr. Edgar and I went to the same school, we did, when we were boys. Oh, Mr. Everett is where he always is. In his office, of course. Bye-bye now.
Отлично. Так. Ну это что? Такое зеркало сложно. Спящий портовый рабочий. Ага. Джойс Мессия. Все сказал, она легендарна. Аннет. Внушение среднее. Ага. Химия невозможно. Рене Орду. Самообладание. легендарно. Это обнаруженные белые проверки. Проверки на белом фоне сейчас доступны. Ага, я понял. Хорошо. Супер. Так. Сумрак, внушение. Сумрак. Запугивайте людей. Так. Скорость реакции, восприятие, техника. Логика. Так, ментальный анализ. Империя, эмпатия, авторитет. Полицейская волна. Внушение. Так, электрохимия. Сумрак. Так, координация, восприятие. Скорость. У меня 2 очка. Скорость реакции, эквилибристика. Техника. Замки в счете кармана. И... Давайте вот это. Так, хорошо. Ну, поехали. Это офис, да? Кофе в этом огромном термосе еще теплый. Лестница из поддонов ведет вверх. Ага. Вот он. Ух ты, жирный мудак. Какой. Чучело рыбы, из которой сделаны часы. Делали часы, окей. О.
Before you is a walrus of a man seated behind a large desk. He looks up from his work, not the least bit surprised to see you. With great effort, he straightens himself up in his chair, yet says nothing. He simply stares at you.
Придем сразу к делу. На дереве висит труп. Вы руководите портовыми рабочими.
Welcome, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi. It's good of you two to stop by.
О, дядя Буа.
Please, have a seat.
Господин Китсураги, он охуительно осведомлен, смотрите. Приятно, что вы заглянули. Прошу присаживайтесь на крошечный стульчик напротив своего огромного стола.
I'm Everard Clare, head of the Debarders Union here in Martinez.
Союз дебардеров Мартинеза. Он расслабляется поудобнее. Он расслабляется, поудобнее устраивается в кресле и продолжает.
I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately my health prevents me from getting up.
Да ты
You
жирный морж.
understand?
Так, сейчас я открою форточку немножко, а то в комнате жарковато стало. Правда, шум становится сразу в комнате. Шумно с улицы. Ладно, поехали. Второй не позволяет мне встать. Так.
He looks extremely comfortable. The tiny folding chair, on the other hand, looks like a
Стул
torture
выглядит как
device.
орудие пыток.
You go ahead, detective.
Давай сначала тебе, а потом на стул.
Whatever he has in
Он
store for
считает,
you,
что
it
от
can't
этого
be good,
человека ничего
he
хорошего не
thinks.
стоит. Я
I'll
сделаю,
do my best.
что смогу.
Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some seriously
Забудь об
bad
этом, что это за
vibes from
фигня с
that.
Дюбуа. До твоего имени исходят какие-то недобрые вибрации. Я постою. Почему это мне господин Дюбуа?
Please, Mr. Dubois,
Прошу, господин
let us
Дюбуа,
converse in a
общаться
civilized manner,
цивилизованно, как
as
равные.
equals. Take a
Присаживайтесь,
seat.
я
I
настаиваю.
insist.
It's nothing. Yes,
Неважно.
that's probably right. It's nothing.
Выбрось из головы.
Forget about it. Filter it out.
Выбрось из головы. Если я никогда не сажусь, это не в моем стиле. Стиль.
Very well, Mr. Dubois.
Хорошо,
I
господин.
respect a man with strong convictions.
Кивает.
I too have convictions, one of which is that I will not engage with any man who won't face me at eye level. Should you find yourself more amenable in the future, I'd gladly resume our conversation. But until then, I'm afraid I must ask you to leave.
You're no Titan affiliation, buddy. He's got you in a fork. Sit down or leave.
Нет у тебя титанической силы воли, брат. Он припер тебя к стенке. Садись или уходи.
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another.
Чёрт, этот стул жутко неудобный. Сохранить серьезность.
So tell me, how can the head of the Debarders
Чем глава
Union
профсоюза
help a
Дебардера
representative of the Revachol Citizens Militia today?
The chair you're
Блять.
sitting on has got to be the most
Этот стул должно
uncomfortable
быть самым
chair in the
неудобным на
world.
всем белом
It's
свете.
violating your backside.
Стул должно быть самым неудобным на всем белом свете. Он просто измывается твоим задом.
Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Gart. Some people have no manners. It pains me to say.
Я не знаю, кто такой Лоуренс Гард, блять.
This should take care of that nonsense.
Вот это поможет решить проблему. Он указывает необычный чек на столе. Просто до смешного огромный.
It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days
Это-
and patch over your differences with the cafeteria manager. Go ahead,
Так.
take it.
Этого должно хватить, чтобы на несколько дней покрыть ваши расходы и разрешить недоразумение. Так, этого должно хватить, чтобы решить недоразумение с управляющим. Решить недоразумение с управляющим. Берите, он снова указывает на чек. Это взятка какая-то, блядь.
Wow, that's 25 real.
Восприятие,
That's good
зрение.
money. You
Просто
need it.
успех. Ого, 25 реалов, хорош деньги, тебе они нужны. Смешно вообще ничего не говорить. Мне это не нужно, кстати, себе не брать чек. Ёпт, мать. Не брать, можете взять всю жопу. Такой, знаете, Гард.
Yes, I know Lawrence. He's a real character. No union man in him. A real piece of work, that boy is.
With a grin, he points to the checker game. It's like you're on a game show. At least don't thank him for it.
Благодарите. Не нужно, кстати, себе. Давайте вот это.
Okay, okay.
Хорошо.
I respect a man with principles. No handouts then.
Скрещивает руки на своем толстом животе и еще глубже проваливается в кресло.
Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure you, Union people are on it as we speak. I've got my best hounds looking for that lost gun.
Теперь мне хотелось бы успокоить вас по поводу потерянного пистолета. О, позвольте заверить, профсоюз занимается этим буквально прямо сейчас. Ваш потерянный пистолет разыскивает мои лучшие ищейки. Ебать, он все знает, короче.
His slug-like lips move, but all you hear is an echo. Lost gun, lost gun, lost gun. The world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only two words escape its gravitational pull. Lost and gun. When he said, "Don't worry," he actually meant, "Be very worried."
Когда он говорит «не волнуйся», когда он говорит «не волнуйся», это на самом деле значит «волнуйся», очень волнуйся. Откуда вам известно о моем пропавшем пистолете? Не волнуйся, схвачено. Откуда вам известно о моем пропавшем
I
пистолете?
know everything, Harry.
Мне известно
Right
все.
now,
Гарри.
I know that you're
Его
worried.
зовут
Don't be
Гарри
worried.
Дюбуа,
Everything's
блин.
going to be
О, как.
all right.
Гарри Дюбуа моего персонажа зовут, вот этого детектива. Наконец-то мы узнали его имя. Мне известно все, Гарри. Например, то, что сейчас вы взволнованы. Не волнуйтесь, все будет
It's
хорошо.
not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now, pointing it into their own mouths. It's in a safe place. I just know it. I have a feeling everything's going to be all right.
It was loaded.
Он
There
был
were two bullets
заряжен,
in
в нем
it.
было 2 пули.
You always
Всегда
keep at
заряжен,
least
один
2 barrels
выбрал
loaded.
ствола. Координация просто. Самоладание сложно. Ким повернуться к Ким. Ой, блядь, это стул просто орудие пыток. Пиздец. Давай, 8% прям пиздец.
God,
Ну, естественно,
you're
естественно.
sweating. Your knee
Боже, ты
is
изног,
jerking.
колено
You're about to
дергается.
cry,
Ты сейчас
aren't
заплачешь,
you?
да? Ты
You're
заплачешь,
about to
потому что
cry
потерял свой
because you
пистолет.
lost your gun,
Теперь
and
тебе
those
детишки
children are
убьют и
gonna
убийца.
shoot themselves with it.
Не собирайся плакать. Так. Пытаться сохранить самообладание.
Mr. Dubois,
Дюбуа,
you
плохо
don't look
выглядите.
so good.
Блядь.
What is this, Mr. Dubois? He
Какому
keeps
же Дюбуа
repeating.
он все время твердит?
What
Что?
is he trying to pull
Ну,
here?
я тебя стыдись,
You need to cool
расслабься.
the fuck down. Chill.
Стыдись, расслабься.
Mr. Dubois! Mr. Dubois! Harry!
Гарри. Стяг. Все бесполезно, ты попал в какой-то ступор. Гарри Дюбуа. Алкожеле, не ты, Гарри, уходи из себя, там безопасно. Он должен стекать по столу, как алкожеле. И в себя там безопасно.
Mr. Dubois, are you
С вами всё в
okay?
порядке.
Can I get you a glass of water or
С
something?
вами всё в порядке.
Are you
Может быть,
having some
стакан
kind
воды
of
или
medical emergency?
проблемы со здоровьем?
Maybe you could use your
Руки,
hands
или что
somehow,
ты
in a
швыряешь
kind of
этим
throw-in
Гарри
motion,
лицо самое.
like you're throwing that Mr. Dubois act right back at him. He's
Не,
Mr.
хорошо,
Dubois.
лучше не бывает, господин Дюбуа.
What an odd demonstration of...
Демонстрация.
You got me, Harry. I don't even know what. As entertaining as it was, I'm afraid we're wasting our time. And I'm an extremely busy man, as I'm sure you are too.
Okay, enough. We are here to ask you some questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
Quick, here's your window. Get yourself together and ask him questions. Police officer questions.
Быстро, вот он твой шанс. Соберись и начинай задавать ему вопросы. Полицейские вопросы. Котик, я только что закончил местной сети наркоторговцев. Закончил расследование местной сети наркоторговцев. Назвали меня Elysium. Почему? Давайте поговорим о вашем пистолете. Уваривать этим Джойсом просто компанию. Врары, блядь.
You might have noticed there's one hanging on a tree behind the hostel cafeteria.
Где висит труп.
Oh my. Don't take this question personally, but why would I get involved in this matter?
Mr. Clare, the man was hanged with a cargo belt, a steel-reinforced cargo belt. It's safe to assume the Union had something to do with the murder. Besides, getting the body down would benefit all of us. It's a stain on the neighborhood.
Совсем грязно пятно репутация района.
I can certainly see how having him up there might start affecting some real estate values. But of course, all joking aside, I am going to help you.
Поднимает тяжестоящую справа от него трубку для телефона и нажимает на кнопку.
Jean-Luc, my boy, I'm sending 2 police officers down. They have a dead body in a tree problem they need help with. Namely, they need it to be taken down. And, Jean, please take it easy with the right sides. He's had enough of that. You can find Jean-Luc down at the gates, but you already knew that. Anyway, he's going to help you.
Ворот, но он усмехается. Вы и так это знаете. Ну да, ладно, вот он вам поможет. Угу.
What?
Что?
Harry, How could you say that to me? You know I appreciate a joke as much as any Johnny fat guy, but I can't take slander. Are you actually investigating this?
Конечно, конечно.
The reaction appears to be sincere, but it's impossible to tell with this guy, honestly.
You've hurt me, Harry. Me, a friend. But you know what?
Вы знаете, что ожидается.
I trust you, like I trust all my friends. And I know you'll never talk to me about this again, because you don't want to wound me. So do what you want, and let's change the subject.
He's hiding his real reaction beneath courtesy.
Thank you for your understanding. We will continue to do what we must.
You too, Lieutenant. You know, I like you, but you never were my favorite. I'm a Harry guy. I'm Team Harry.
None taken. Did we have anything else to do here, Harry?
Гарри, так. Что находится в контейнере, что снаружи?
Harry, honestly, I'm just relieved you didn't get a hernia. A man your age.
Смотри, Миш, человек в вашем возрасте.
Yes, Harry. You are obviously in peak physical condition, and I salute both your initiative and your physical prowess. Very impressive, Harry. Very impressive. Anyway, I assure you, I am a very well-informed man. Information reaches me before I even get the chance to request it. Oh, that's very nice. I haven't gotten around to her yet. I'm very, very busy, you see. I hope you're getting along. One thing I want to make very clear, Harry, is that this is not some kind of union versus corporation situation. Everyone is just pals here. We're all trying to do what's best for Martinez here. Don't feel like you can't cooperate with her because you and I are such good friends and I'm helping you get that nasty body down from the tree. I'm not a jealous guy.
Whoa, that's so nice of him. Suspiciously nice.
What do you mean, Harry? Nothing. I let him go. He's an old man, Harry. I wanted him to spend more time with his family. God knows how long he's got left. Harry! I have little people in my organization. I would never call someone a midget. What is this? Honestly, I'm beginning to think you're a midget, Harry. I'm only kidding, Harry. You're not a midget. No one is. We're pals. Vanished? Harry, the woman left her casserole in the oven and couldn't make it here in time for the voting. Oh, did I leave my casserole on? Better go home and check. The election can wait. When she got back, the whole thing was over.
Wait, there was no mention of a casserole from Joyce.
Harry, Harry, Harry. Do not fixate on this little matter. Maybe it was a rabbit stew, or a hairdryer, or an iron. The point is, her heart wasn't in it. Mine was. Yes, yes. Low balling, of course. This isn't a casino, Harry. Real people, real livelihoods are at stake here. But everything's a casino for those rich types.
His expression makes it clear. This is childish and irresponsible behavior.
If she actually wants to see me, she will find a way. Any good negotiator would. And I just don't have anything to discuss with a bad negotiator. I'm just a nice guy, Harry. I wouldn't be where I am now if I wasn't nice. Politics is all about emotions, and I want you to have positive emotions when you think of me. Of course, Harry. Let me just assure you one more time. It's perfectly okay to share anything we discuss here with this Joyce. This is a completely transparent organization. I have no interest in what she is doing, but I myself have nothing to hide. Your business is your business, and I respect your privacy. Just remember, none of this is secret. Tell her about all of it. My brother's picture, my singing swordfish clock. Tell her how overweight I am and how I'm helping you find your lost gun. Tell her about everything. Everard doesn't mind.
It is rather interesting to tell people things about each other, isn't it? It was nice telling him about her right now.
А правильно ли я сделал, что я рассказал ему о ней? Да.
Of course. Let us dispatch with the formalities. You call me Everard, I call you Harry. My God, so it's true. I didn't want to believe it, but you are a fantastic science fiction amnesiac cop, aren't you? What are the odds of that?
I think the odds of that are very low.
It might be a good idea to hide your confusion. I mean, see what his game is first.
So good to hear that, Harry. Apparently my sources were wrong. However, if you did have a spot of memory trouble, I could help you out. With my big fat folder.
Words flow like a river of honey from his lips. I guess word has already reached him. No matter. No harm done. It's just a brown folder. You can't make out what's written on it.
Are you trying to tell me you've gotten hold of some of our documents?
Mr. Kitsuragi, would you mind? Me and Harry are talking about his lost identity right now.
Don't just jump to the folder. That's not smart. Shows you're on the edge. Do some probing first.
Family? Harry, you're not a family man. There's not one peep of family in here. Unless you think you're a family man. Do you strike yourself as a family man, Harry? That's why I like you, Harry. A good man knows both his strengths and his weaknesses, and you, my friend, you are one of the all-time greats. But of course, Harry, your precinct is the 41st and you live in Jamrock. You're a Jamrock boy. A long way from home, but that's okay.
He doesn't really seem to know any more about it.
It says, oh yes, very interesting. It says you're more like a mad prophet than a cop, always rambling about the end of the world. I'm sure these stories are exaggerated. I know that, Harry. I know you. And rest assured, your secret is safe with me. It's Harry. Harry Dubois. And I can work with you, Harry. Now, what else can I do for you? Ah, this? My friends in your organization gave it to me, Harry.
Ого, нифига себе, друзья из вашей организации.
This translates into, haha, you guys are so corrupt.
Ну да.
I find that very suspicious. May I have a look?
I'm afraid this is meant for union eyes only, Mr. Kitsuragi. I'm sure you understand. Please continue, Harry.
Нажайте, Гарри.
As you look at the folder, Everard covers it with his hand and pets it. He's hiding it from you because it's not a real RCM folder. It's just another one of those brown folders you saw in the file cabinet.
Ага. Отлично. Игральные кости. Драма 5. Ага. Плюс 2. 4, 6, 11, 11. А, ну да, я понял.
Okay, Harry, you got me. This is from the Census Bureau, not the RCM. Those Census Bureau people are absolutely corrupt. You should do something about them.
He got the name from the Census Bureau, and everything else from your actions here in Martinez.
Yes, yes, Mr. Kitsuragi from the Census Bureau. Like I said, now I'm actually a very busy man. So is there anything else I can do for you, Harry?
That means he doesn't really know anything about you. A pity. The mystery of you will have to remain a mystery for the time being.
Yes, that's what I said. Try to keep up, okay? Let's move on. My dear Harry, there are literally millions of containers in this harbour. I couldn't possibly remember what's in all of them. Harry, you smooth-talking son of a bitch. Time is a precious resource, and I don't have enough of it to count containers with you.
Smooth talking. Maybe that's the way to go about opening the container. You should at least try convincing it.
Oh, of course. That's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez. I know everything that goes on around here, and I would love to help you, like I'm helping you with the body. I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need to interview me. But there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could just calmly talk, exchange information, we could blow this thing wide open.
Yes, that sounds good. Let's do that.
But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines, incredibly talented at opening doors.
Ким, это правда? Мы машина под открывание дверей?
And I'm sure you're going to open this one with flying colors, Harry. This really is very simple, and there's nothing shady about it.
An excellent opportunity presents itself, sire. You could win the trust of the arch-liar, pretend to play into his hand. Then, should you wish, bend his efforts towards your own.
Чья это дверь?
Oh, no one's. It's just a weasel. A weasel lives there. Nothing for you to worry about. Harry, I'm a very busy man, and more importantly, I don't have that extraordinary physique you do. You look like you could run around all day.
You want to send someone a message that the police are working for you.
I repeat, I'm a very, very busy man, Mr. Kitsuragi, and therefore I must occasionally enlist outside help. So what will it be, Harry? A loud blabbering weasel. When weasels feel no one is watching, they start acting foolishly. Just go there, unlock the door, and leave it open. It's been such a burden on me, Harry. I just want this to be over so I can discuss business with you. Harry, my dear friend, I am what people call a local bigwig. I know everything that goes on in Martinez.
Давайте возьмем, а что еще делать?
Fantastic, my friend. Just let me know when it's done and we can take our friendship to the next level. You can get the key from Manana. He's down by the gates. Manana's like a free agent in the Union. Special operations. Hardened socialist. A real free thinker too. He'll tell you precisely where the door is. one last thing, Harry. Just open the door. You don't need to go in or anything. I just want that weasel to come home and see the unlocked door. Yes, your lost gun. My best men are on it. They're turning every stone, searching every playground, asking kids, grandmas, everyone. Your gun will be found, Harry. Let me assure you of that. It's just a matter of time and effort.
The only way to find it seems to be working with him. He might even be holding your gun hostage.
Бля.
Who knows? Only one thing is certain. If you work with him, you're going to get it back. And working with him might be the only way to do it.
Damn it, Harry. That's exactly what it means. I'm only kidding, of course.
Of course. I understand. We help you, you help us.
I don't know what that means, Harry. Shady brew? There are so many moving parts in my operation, I can't keep track of them all. You know what? Don't even tell me. Whatever it is, do it. Surprise me. Just one thing. If you can, make it even shadier.
He sincerely has no idea what you were talking about. And he doesn't care either.
Так, интересно. Давайте скажем, ладно.
Ah, yes. Your side investigation. Thank you. You've got some spirit clearing up phony drug accusations alongside this murder. I'll talk to the mayor and see if I can get you the key to the city, Harry. Now let's talk real business.
Actually, Rivershell doesn't have a mayor. He refuses to discuss it further. It's probably just a small nuisance to him.
Wait. You need this to get in and out through the gate. Here, you're one of us now. A real red and white union man. Take care, Harry.
Ну, нормально, нормально. Так. Больше ничего нет, погнали. Уходим отсюда. Так, может быть, с этим псом еще раз поговорить.
Oh, hey, mister. I knew you'd be back to talk with old Leo here. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. It's like Lady Larice said when she opened a bathhouse in the basement of my apartment building. They can only get so far before they're aching to get back. And lots of folk really did keep coming back. Sure, mister. Absolutely. I'm always willing to help out nice fellows such as yourself.
Ладно, окей, все, уходим.
You're back before the cargo container. Its
Блять.
draw has not lessened since you were last here. If anything, it seems to have grown slightly.
Даже немного больше. Риторика, 5 низкие шансы. Прожил в этом мире 2 дня. Ну, 3% даже пробовать не буду. Это бесполезно. выходим.
The unpromising race pupil returns. So it was. You surmounted the harbor wall in a display of athletic prowess to reach my superior. Then had him give me an order. I salute your cunning, and I will remove the body from the tree with my bare hands.
You're so noble, Measurehead.
There's a but. But while I am gone, someone must stand guard on the bridge. That someone needs to be you. Both of you.
Вы оба. Ага. Хорошо, надо здесь. Думаю, лейтенант, что если мы не хотим этого делать?
This is the uncomfortable result of not taking it down ourselves. I can be much
самостоятельно. Это неприятные последствия того, что мы не справились с этим делом самостоятельно.
Listen to your little friend. He is wise in his childlike way. His mysterious race may yet prove fierce competition to my heroic outlook.
Героической группе. Блять.
Fine. Goodbye. Return to your degeneracy.
Блять. Что? Ага, окей. Бля, вот это хуёво. Реально хуёво.
Hello, compatriot. You have something to discuss? Oh, not much anymore. I'm here to pick up some cargo, but the dock workers are on strike, so it's a sit and wait on your ass situation. The strike? Oh, they've been at it for a while. A month, 2 months maybe. But this here is just the last week or so. Apples?
Apples is exactly the kind of thing you'd say if you had something to hide.
Yep.
Yeah, apples? I take it you had other questions? Oh, not much anymore. I'm here. Apples.
Apples is exactly the kind of thing you...
Look, as detective. I come from... We're on the same side here, yeah?
Koiko may be another derogative for a person from...
Yep,
In fact, Yokokata is a desolate wasteland whose name literally translates to Zone of Ecological Catastrophe. It features no...
Yeah? Says who? Then, I guess they grow apples somewhere else. You can never really tell with those koikos. They're everywhere, except their own homes.
The man bites...
Ну ладно, хорошо, это ни к чему не привело. Это не привело ни к чему. Что там у нас? Аннет. Давайте поговорим с ней. Так, тут что-то есть, смотрите.
There, working class drunk. You know what this means, right? Cracked it. All in a good day's work.
Это надо выписать ему штраф, что ли? Погоди.
What do you mean, what did I crack? Look at how working class that drunk is. Yes, and you found him. Now go and tell the working class woman. Protect and serve, recruit. Didn't she repeatedly tell you her husband isn't Misinda? There's no need for champagne when there's honor, recruit. Go and tell the working class woman what...
Vigilance officer, what can this old carabinier do for you?
All you observe is a veteran refusing to let go of the past and his old...
This is the uniform of the Royal Carabiniers in service of Frissel the First, Guillaume Le Lion.
Don't you mean...
You do not speak his name, Craven, although he was a clown. But he was our clown, ours to ridicule and to mourn.
There's something you missed. You will get to it. Don't worry.
Yes, the Debardeurs Union pays me to stand vigil during the night. Not out of any political allegiance, mind you. I'm an old man. Don't sleep more than a few hours every night anyway, and money is tight. Yes, like...
Давайте для начала просто посмотрим его фотографию. Где она? Вот она, да? Нет, это открытка. Ламинированная открытка с видом на другую сторону руки. Наркомания и гепатит Б, ребят. Наркомания и гепатит Б. Пиздец. Прикольно. О, гля. Черно-белая фотопара, позирующая на фоне колеса. Тренажерская ярмарка. Лето 91-го. Ничего себе, блядь. Старая херь.
Vigilance officer? What can this old... Yes, I'm an old man. Don't sleep more than a few hours every night anyway, and money is tight. Yes, it does. Unfortunately, I wasn't working that night. Been on a 2-week leave since last Monday. It's a private matter. Nothing to do with your investigation.
You see, officer, René is the kind of man would rather die than admit he needs medical assistance or, God forbid...
I'm fine, goddammit. Mind your own business. It's nothing. Just got to cut back on coffee. No one The boss has been unmanned since last Monday. There's no other guard. It's just me.
No one has been guarding the container yard since last Monday.
Yes. It's not actually an issue. I mean...
Look, officer. The container yard doesn't actually need a guardsman. Never had one before René. Monsieur Claire had that booth built specially for him. It's mostly decorative.
The possibility of someone being in there is enough to discourage any ill-minded individuals.
Evrard created this job for René because he knows the Royal Carabinier's pension of honor and PTSD isn't something a man can live off. A decorated Kingsman collecting tear reflects bad on the whole neighborhood. His words.
Потому чтобы собирать бутылки нет ничего плохого. Я этим тоже подрабатываю. Гордо приносил спикер для тары. Лол.
Can we conclude the topic of my guard booth now? She is nobody. This is none of your concern, and I refuse to discuss my private affairs with the RCM.
The lady is Jeanne-Marie Beaulieu, and she sure as hell wasn't a nobody.
Yes, like I said, it would be up anyway.
Still,
Опять.
all you see is an old soldier refusing to replace his uniform with a civilian attire.
Anything else I can assist you with, officer? We still have a game to finish.
I have really outdone myself. This is divine.
Yes, that's what you need, Gaston. More padding on that fat ass of yours. I hope your heart gives out.
René, it's a little pleasures. Life doesn't need to be a struggle. Hello, officer. How might I be of assistance on this fine day? Oh, sweet Jenny. She was the finest woman in all of Revachol. Maybe the entire world.
Do not defile her memory, Gaston. Let her rest in peace.
We knew her, all right. Lived on the same street our entire lives, just 2 houses apart. The 3 of us have been best friends since we were 4.
Редко такое бывает, что баба, ну, два мужика переживают бабу. Это бывает супер редко. Обычно вот эти вот чуваки уже должны давно уже догнивать, так сказать, в могиле, а бабка будет ходить тут по улицам, короче. Вот такова суровая жизнь, так сказать.
She was René's first girl back when the prick was 16. They were courting till he decided he'd rather die for some great ideal than just be happy.
And then you stole her from me.
Oh, officer. It already got ugly nearly 80 years ago when the three of us were just learning to walk and talk.
You stole her from me.
Well, technically, you stole her from me, because we'd been pretty close ever since you two had that falling out over the ink you spilled over her pretty yellow dress.
We were just boys then. This was different. You... No point starting this all over again. For the 1000th and the first time. Especially when we have company.
She died of pneumonia 2 winters ago. It was a quiet passage, peaceful. René and I were both by her bedside when she...
died. No use sugarcoating it. Won't bring her back. Will it now?
departed. Until the very end she couldn't decide between us. The most indecisive woman I've ever met. She could never make up her mind about anything. What to have for breakfast, favorite color, or which one of us to marry. She was always leaving one of us for the other, but never long enough to actually get married. Heck, technically, we're both still engaged to her.
You always confused her. Couldn't let us be happy. Seduced her with your fancy words and pastries.
Of course, officer. Memories are all we have left. Let me think. I heard someone was hanged and left on a tree for a week. But that's all I know, really. No, officers, I'm sorry. And I really would like to assist. You are both good guys. I can see that.
Then help them, you wimp. You have plenty of shoulder with the gauche caviar in the Union. Someone must know something.
He means caviar socialists.
I wish I could, but I just don't know anything. I always keep my nose clean and don't gossip. Everyone knows and respects that.
Odd. He doesn't seem to be lying, but there's something off here.
I'm not even anyone.
Of course he's holding back. His mouth is so full of Union prick he can't even speak properly.
Can I at least finish my fucking sentence before you piss on it? Is that okay, René? I'm not anyone important in the Union. I just know Evrard. Everyone in Martinez knows the Clare brothers. I taught these boys human studies and history in the gymnasium.
What do you know about history? You never witnessed history, only heard about it years later when it had already moved on. You don't know history.
The old soldier mumbles something under his breath and turns to face the sea. There he stands, proud, rigid and alone, like a cracking marble statue.
Let's try not to get caught in a crossfire.
Oh, in many ways, yes. Like an honorary member. I attend meetings and parties, help with little things. Evrard, Edgar, and the older debarders all know me. Oh, yes. Not in the technical sense. I don't have a vote or a membership card, but Evrard keeps me on the payroll, just for the little things.
So that's what it was before. Him hiding something. He tries to make it look like he's a big deal in the Union, and now the illusion is disintegrating before your and Renee's eyes. He doesn't know anything, because no one tells him anything. He's an outsider.
Of course he's not a member. He's not a member of anything. I knew that. He's a Vezavane. Turns the way the wind blows and tries to look important. I hate this socialist rabble, but even siding with them is better than living your entire life on the fence, never committing to anything. Pick a damn side already.
Writing work mostly. Occasionally, he needs something written, and I happen to have a way with words, people say. Oh, nothing official, I assure you. Just essays for the newspapers. About Martinez and how things are and how they could be. Evrard and I had these long talks where...
Well, he tells his little pen man exactly what to say. It's commie propaganda, plain and simple. You should be ashamed of yourself.
I don't even consider myself a regular socialist. Politics is not really something I involve myself in, officer. I believe everyone has the right to think and do whatever they want, even if it's nothing at all. I'm very adaptable.
Oh, mon Dieu.
No, thank you. For being consummate professionals. You'll have this case wrapped up in no time. I'm sorry, officer, but I really don't share food. Nothing personal, it's just a principle.
The only one you have.
The sandwich looks like a culinary wonder. Well made and abundant in components. The author sure knew their craft. In addition to the obvious slice of ham, a fat one, you notice a brim of a tomato peeking from below. And is that mayonnaise?
Believe me, officer, I wish I could help you, but I need this sandwich to keep my blood sugar stable. In my age, you need to pay attention to these things. Fuck off! It's mine! Sorry, officer. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it in a bad way. But the sandwich is mine. I'm not gonna share it.
When the dissidents come to rape our country, he hides. But try to get a bite of his dear sandwich and he gets claws? We are a special kind of vermin, Gaston.
A man so principled about his sandwich calls for a principled approach. Time to get political. This right here is political.
What the hell are you talking about? What foreign anarchist?
No time to bring him in. Just keep your eyes on the prize and
I don't think that's gonna happen. Why would you even...
Вот прям вот, блять, вот прям вот охуенно звучит первый вариант.
He won't kill. As long as there's food in his fat belly, he'll lick any boots that's kicking it to him.
good. Rene's on board too. Time to take back the streets. Right-wing populism, here we come.
Now you are talking sense, son. All four of us working as a group. We can make a difference.
Whatever you're selling there, he's buying it. In bulk.
I'm actually already a member in a group tasked to keep the streets safe. You are too. We call ourselves the police. Are you sure? Cause right now, it looks like you are organizing a vigilante group.
Я забыл, что такое вигиланты. Бля, сейчас я погуглю. Вигилант. Вигилант. Персональная группа, цель которых является преследование лиц, обвиняемых в настоящих или вымышленных проступках и не получивших заслуженного наказания, обход правовых процедур. Ага.
What do you mean, officer?
Agreed. What about the whole group? I propose a pair de la corne, swords of the crown, in honor of my old unit.
I'm sure we can come up with something with a bit more oomph than that.
How about what?
Мигрантобои. Бдительное пламя. Ашвайские зуболомы. Мигрантобои, давайте.
It's weird.
Это чушь какая-то.
I don't like
Мне
it.
нравится. Пока
We'll
что
go with mine for
название.
now.
А ты
And you
показывает.
get excited.
Радоваться.
All right. I have a bad feeling about this.
Чудно, дивно. А теперь, когда с этим мы покончили, давай мне сэндвич. Еще один момент. То есть, дай мне его на минуточку. Просто свой сэндвич. Нормально, дай мне, пожалуйста, твой сэндвич.
Oh, you went through all that trouble for my sandwich. I'm flattered, officer,
ради моего
but my
сэндвича.
answer is no.
Я польщен,
Now,
но мой ответ нет.
how else
Что я
can I
еще
help
могу...
you?
Что я еще для вас могу сделать? Сука. На этом пока все. Сука. Давайте, короче, с бабой поговорим вот с этой. Так, тут что у меня было, да? Ага, вот тут я пробегал, да, вот. Из вентиляции несет запахом картофельным погребом по весне.
God damn it, I already told you. My husband isn't missing. And I specifically added that I didn't need to know where he was. Very well then. Where is he? Excuse me? I don't follow. Right, 'cause working class women come with alcoholic husbands. You know what?
Remember, about that what, never ever say what.
You were right. I do have an alcoholic
Правду
husband.
сказали.
Although not that one.
Вы правду сказали, у меня действительно муж пьяница, вот только не это.
Ah, blam. Knew it.
Бам, я так и знал. Что ваш муж в порядке.
I did, and he is. He's also an alcoholic.
И еще он пьяница. Так, он тоже
No,
пропал?
he's not.
Нет, не пропадал,
Or
или
maybe
пропал,
he
или в
is.
курсе.
I don't know.
Парке,
He's probably in the park or in Shamrock somewhere, drinking with his friends. I haven't seen him for...
Да ну его к черту.
Well, to hell with him.
I wouldn't be so sure. Ma'am, just to be completely clear, do you want to report it to the police?
Report what? He's just out drinking with his friends. I'm sure the police has better things to do than to chase down local goofballs.
She sighs, but you can detect a slight hint of gratitude and relief from her face.
All right, go ahead. Do you have any questions? Yesterday morning, he went to the library. He went to retrieve my book, and he promised he'd walk straight back home. Because we talked about this. We talked about not wandering off again. I don't know what to do. I honestly don't know what to do with his addiction. just makes me feel weak.
Gone for around 36 hours then. Damn, this is a missing persons case. She turns away from you in an attempt to recover.
Honestly, not that different from you.
Алкоголик на поздней стадии. Ага, значит, у нас пропавший полицейский. В смысле? Выходит на любитель диска.
Oh, thank God, no.
Нет, слава богу.
It hasn't come down to this yet. Well, he's slightly chubby.
Ага.
What else? He was wearing a dark brown leather jacket
Старый
with a
ключ,
bright
каждый
blue
пункт,
inner
да.
lining. The lining is hand sewn. I made it. It's his cool jacket. God knows it's too cold to run around in this, but he refuses to change. I even tried throwing it away once, but he just dug it out of the bin. Can you believe it? Well, what can you do? I hope that at least that extra lining helps him keep warm at night. I wouldn't like him to catch cold. So you are going to look for him?
She genuinely wants you to now. Don't make her ask.
Thank you. Please do. Even though I'm sure he will return home by himself. I'm still sure of that.
I'm sure he will too. When he does, would you let Precinct 57, Kim Kitsuragi, know?
I will, of course, officer. As I said, it's probably nothing.
Так, отлично. Ну ладно, что ж, давайте сохранимся. И на этом закончим наше сегодняшнее прохождение. По крайней мере, эту часть. Вот, увидимся в следующий раз. Уже почти 3 часа. Вот, а то получается так, что вчера я 6 с лишним часов наиграл, и там была такая хрень какая-то, что какая-то фигня была с заявкой, авторские права на музыку, короче. И когда большой стрим идет, ну, большая запись, невозможно очистить эту запись от посторонних этих музыкальных произведений, короче. Вот. И получается, ну, на тебе висит ограничение, короче. И вот это меня бесит. Поэтому лучше больше, чем там 3 часа записи не делать. Поэтому всем, как говорится, пока.